Hey guys, episode 14 of my cryptocurrency portfolio series. Drop a like if you enjoy and subscribe if you want to see more. Good week this week, nice rise. The Blockfolio app's still sort of bugging a little bit, so it's showing Power Ledger right at the bottom as if they've sort of gone bust, which doesn't seem to be the case. It's just a bug from them. So that's actually about £1,600. So at 99,000, nearly back up to six figures again. So a nice week. I think part of this is money printing, stimulus from the US, and talks of more stimulus, potentially doing more stimulus checks, sort of $1,200 just straight to every US citizen. We don't really get that in the UK, but don't really agree with it anyway. It just, the people that don't need it just pile it into stocks, and that just raises the price of everything. And the people that do need it, I suppose, a lot of them do spend it irresponsibly. But yeah, so it's seeing everything rise. Bitcoin's up, gold's up, everything's up, stocks up. So you don't get that in a normal economy generally. So this is a little bit false. So Bitcoin is up 6% for the week. And this is sort of the trend with most coins, really. Ethereum, sort of basically the same. Amisa Go's still a little bit sort of up and down, so that hasn't followed. But yeah, pretty much everything else is sort of up around about 6%, maybe a little bit more. I think Cardano's done a little better, but it doesn't seem to be any big news regarding any of these. They're just all sort of following Bitcoin basically. But yeah, so nice gains for the week. I wanted to show you part of the other reason I think we've been seeing the increase, which is the big companies starting to allocate reasonable amounts of funds to Bitcoin. So I don't know if you saw the news, but Square, which is the company headed by Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter, also founded Square Payments Company. They're $83 billion company. And they announced that they were buying $50 million of Bitcoin. So just looking at their balance sheet, they have $2.7 billion in cash and cash equivalents. So 50 million in Bitcoin is sort of about 2% of their total cash and cash equivalents. So for a big company like that to be allocating this much to Bitcoin, obviously they sell Bitcoin at Square, so that sort of makes sense for them to be, holding some of it and showing their confidence in it. But yeah, for that sort of size company, I think it's basically a bullish sign. Another one which did sort of make more of the news was MicroStrategy. They are a smaller company, $1.6 billion. But they basically said the CEO, I think Michael Saylor, sort of said that they like to hold around about 500 million or so in cash, and he was unhappy with asset price inflation basically and being in cash. The sort of 2% inflation isn't really the case in assets. They're sort of going up far more with the money printing, and he saw that as sort of bad for their $500 million. So of this $567 million at the end of last year, I think on a sort of quarterly basis has come down a little. But they put 425 million into Bitcoin. So that's sort of the majority of their cash, basically about 80% of their cash. And he sees this as an inflation hedge. He said he considered gold. Gold would have probably been the second choice, but basically the sort of fixed supply of Bitcoin was more attractive. So he's put 425 million into Bitcoin. This was all done sort of off exchange, so it didn't move the price all that much, but sort of obviously whoever sold to him would have wanted to sell to someone. It could have ended up on exchanges and dropping the price maybe, so we may have seen an avoidance of a price drop as opposed to a price gain from them buying. So it's just thinking if more companies like this are going to keep wanting to hold reasonable amounts, then there isn't that much to go around, and it's just going to raise the price. And it generally seems like, as you saw on Blockfolio, when Bitcoin goes up, everything else seems to sort of follow, basically, unless there's significant news with that particular coin. So yeah, thought it was interesting news. Leave your comments and thoughts below, either on the portfolio or on the news. And yeah, like and subscribe, share if you want to see more and you think this would be useful to anyone else. And see you soon.